Welcome back. My name is Nick, and I have Taylor here with me, and today we're talking about the non-family member trying to be in the family, Tom from Succession.
Tom Womskans.
By the way, we've been doing a lot of Succession breakdowns here from Logan to Kendall to Shiv to Roman, and we're going to be covering Cousin Greg too. I think he's going to take it all. But, by the way, if you like Cousin Greg, we got an awesome Cousin Greg shirt at AsArt.space. It's super fun, super cool. I'm not wearing it today, but I will on the next one, hopefully, if I remember. And then also, just so you guys know, if you comment at all, you're entered to win a free shirt at the end of the month. So just let us know, comment some stuff. You're entered to win. And today we're going to be talking about good old boy Tom.
Tom Womskans is Siobhan Roy's husband, infatuated with the Roy family's power and prestige. He pursues acceptance from the family, sometimes humiliating himself in the process. I would say always humiliating himself in the process. Not sometimes, always.
So Tom is not a part of the family. He wants to be. We know, looking through Greg's, what's so funny? I was thinking about this when I was thinking about Greg. Greg reminds me of like Harry Potter. And when you watch Harry Potter, he's your doorway into the magic world. And it's just like, you're kind of learning with Harry, like how this works. Through Greg, we're learning how this world works. We're
not talking about Greg, Nick.
I know, we're talking about Tom, but it's just so interesting. I was thinking about that. But Tom and Greg go together like peas in a pie. They're always together.
That's
but
true.
They're the two on the outside, wanting that fancy life, wanting that yacht life, wanting that excellent food life, and that's where their connection comes in. They're both on the outside trying to get in and trying to make it to the top.
They're both on the outside, but they both have a toe on the inside, or
Yes.
maybe a foot or partial body, because
or close
Greg
to
is
the
related to them.
Yeah.
And Tom is also related to them by marriage.
He's married in, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they do both possess that kind of like in but out quality.
And it's funny too, because like the way they approach things, Tom does have a connection with Shiv. At least they're partners and they're going to work together to get ahead in the company kind of thing. But other than that, he can't really rely on anyone else in the family.
He cannot rely on Shiv.
Yeah. And one of the most important things he stated to Greg was, you can't trust anyone. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's just something you got to remember, because he does something pretty extreme.
You can't trust anyone, and he says that Logan always wins.
Yes, he does. And poor Tom, he tried so hard to be dedicated to Shiv, to stand out for Shiv, to look out for Shiv, to be the spy for Shiv, to do whatever he could to get Shiv to her rightful place. Obviously, he was doing it in his own means too, because he knew the higher Shiv went up the ladder, the higher he would go up the ladder too. But man, he was, poor guy. No one's ever done anything for him.
Man, remember when Shiv said she wants an open relationship on their wedding night?
Wedding night. Oh, yes.
So it's not only what Greg does that makes you cringe, it's also what people do to Tom that makes you cringe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tom's a little funky in his own right. The stuff he does to poor Greg and other stuff like that too, where he has this illusion like he has power, but then when it comes to him actually competing with powerful people, he kind of gets toned down.
Yeah, you know what I can relate it to, Nick, that I just thought of? It's kind of like when parents would volunteer to be recess people. Like they would watch you at recess and they'd tell you not to do something, and you're like, you don't
you don't have no power.
It's not really working. I feel like that's the vibe Tom gives off. It's like he tries to exude that executive status, but you're just you're a goober. Come on.
He is a goober. But the goober made some really good points. He scored some really good points with Roy. Gosh, Roy.
No, Logan.
Logan. Oh my gosh, he scored some really good points with Logan. Gosh, I'm getting all mixed up now with all the names.
Well, Roy is a first name, so that is kind of confusing.
But he definitely scored points with Logan at the right times.
But those I feel are shallow points. I don't know if he could ever really have the same. You know what I'm saying?
There's one scene that gave me hope for Tom. I don't know if there's hope for anyone. That gave me hope for Tom. When Logan was delirious
Yeah.
and he needed help to go to the restroom, who did he ask?
And he called him son, I think, right? Or
He
called him
yes!
dad.
It was in a delirious state, but Tom needed that. Tom
Yeah.
needed that, like, that false sense of approval. Logan was not in his right set of mind. It was not a move by Logan to do any of that. But, like, it was weird that even though he had a son there and people he's worked with forever, he asked Tom to be with him in that vulnerable state, which was just very interesting. And then was that after he already said he would go to jail? And that might have been after he already said he would go to jail for Logan, I think.
Yeah, he said that on the yacht, right? Or
I think he said it at the studio. They were like behind the scenes at the studio, and he mentioned like, "Hey, if you need someone to take the fall for you or the dagger or whatever." And Logan's like, "I don't think it's going to come to that, but thank you for the offer and all that." And Shiv was back dealing behind Tom's back, trying to make play, trying to figure out if she wants to be on Kendall's side. Does he actually have an argument, or is she going with Logan? And she was kind of playing this fine line where Tom was giving her all the info. Hey, they're voting right now. Do you want me to put your name in, or this is happening and all this? And then he finds out that she was basically lying to him where she was. And he found it through his loyal minion, Greg, who happens to just be at the right place at the right time all the time. Greg's just always awkwardly there. And I think at that moment he realized like she's not ever going to look out for me. I mean, it took a while for him for that to actually like land in his head, and I think that's when he was like, I need to find someone I can trust. And the only person I think he can trust is Greg, which I don't think he should trust Greg at all, because Greg betrayed him so many times by now. Like, and remember like the boat thing? He's like, I need you to destroy the evidence. He doesn't destroy the evidence fully. And then he's like, I need you to burn it. He hides the burning thing like that.
Or no, he says like, he has a saying. He's like, one for me, one for the fire. Or it's way funnier than that. Yeah. You have to find a clip of that. It's so good.
But whenever Greg got a chance, he would betray Tom. He even like, I think went to Logan saying how much he hated working for Tom and he wanted to move away. And it's so funny because like he thinks he can trust Greg, but I think that's going to be Tom's ultimate downfall, is trusting Greg too much, because Greg has never done anything. You have theories about
Greg.
I think Greg's going to be the underdog winner here, because Greg plays it right with everyone. And it's also
it's because he's a people pleaser, Nick. I feel like he doesn't have like the authority or like the gumption to like actually do anything. It's kind of just, but I mean, I could be wrong.
He always makes the right play.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm going to do a whole Greg breakdown, but like, for example, his first test, when they were at the hospital, they told Greg to go get the sweater and then to go get like documents or something like that. And then Shiv calls him, don't get the documents. So he's like, oh no, who has more power? What do I do? He calls his mom and he's trying to figure out like, what's the best hand to play? And he played like the perfect hand. He didn't bring like the documents and stuff like that, but he brought back the sweater or the pajamas or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so he pleased both of them.
But remember, that moment at the end of season 1 where Kendall is at the press conference and then they pan to Greg and you're like, yeah, Greg. But then like 3 episodes into the next season, he's with Logan. You're like, wait, what?
He uses, and it's so interesting because he uses every advantage to climb higher and higher. He literally went from puking inside of a mascot head, working for to now like being head of parks.
Isn't that the first scene of the whole series?
I think it might be one of the first scenes. Yeah. Yeah, so
but we're talking about Tom. We're talking about Tom.
I know, but I'm just saying, he hits rock bottom and he goes to the top. We're going to have a great Greg episode because I think Greg's going to be the true killer.
Extended episode.
But back to Tom. There's a great scene when Kendall meets with Tom. And Kendall lays it out like it is. Yeah. You're not part of the family, blah, blah, blah. And then Tom, though, stands up to him. He's like, yo, you've never won. Basically, you don't know how to get your hands dirty. You've never done anything yourself. Logan always wins. And at that moment, you knew he would be willing to betray Kendall or even Roman. Like, you kind of got a sense. You didn't think Shiv at that time. But I think at that time, the gears were already turning, like how to separate himself from the children so he can stand alone to be the new son-in-law that Logan loves kind of thing. And that's
and that's like a thing in corporate America. Are you gonna ascend people internally, or are you gonna choose somebody from the outside? He's not from the outside, but it's like, are you gonna choose a child, or are you gonna choose like an executive Jerry? Are you gonna choose Jerry to like, or whatever? So I feel like he's trying to get in that way of like being the alternative to a child, and then he's kind of a half child since he's married to them. So he kind of occupies all these strange spaces in the show. Marriage, VP,
everything. He's the full package when it comes to
and it's funny, just a side note for people maybe my age or around my age, it's crazy that he was in Pride and Prejudice in like 2005,
really?
early 2000. He was Mr. Darcy, the love interest. I was obsessed with him, and I made that connection that it's him, and it's just like, oh, that was Tom. Yeah,
that's
Pride
our
and
boy
Prejudice.
Tom.
He was
the guy that wrecks Greg's office.
Yeah, and another great actor who I believe is a theater. He like Kendall too. A lot of them are like they came up in like theater.
All fantastic.
Yeah,
great casting for everyone.
Yeah, I think Tom has actually recently won an award. His name's not really Tom, obviously, but I think in real life he won an award for playing Tom recently.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
that's awesome. And then Tom, the only person he has is Greg, believe it or not. And it's interesting too, because they both confide in each other sensitive information. And they both understand the position that they're in. Oh my gosh, that's him from Pride. Yes.
Isn't that so funny?
That's awesome.
Okay, sorry.
And they make the deal together and they go in for the kill. And they literally they save Logan from losing the company because of the information he had for now. But like he earned that respect, and he got a pat on the back, which is so funny. Like such a simple gesture of a simple little pat. Even Shiv's knows like something was up, and she made the connection. And I can't wait to see the dynamic in their relationship going forward.
Nick, that pat on the back was equal to like basically perhaps ending his marriage. Like that tells you how hungry these people are.
They all want power. And what does Logan say? You have to be a killer.
Yeah.
Anytime anyone advances to some sort of power in the show, they have to kill or destroy someone.
Yeah.
Every time, if it's
or part of themselves.
So something has to be destroyed in order for them to get this illusion of power of this old man who's never gonna die. It looks like.
It seems like these guys never do, so it checks out.
So that's our breakdown on Tom. I can't wait to do our breakdown on freaking Greg. I have so many things to talk about with Greg, which is going to be a great conversation.
Can we wait till my cousin Greg shirt comes in? Then
we got to do that. Hopefully it comes in soon. If not, we'll just keep pushing off Greg for as long as we can, just to tease you guys about my Greg theories. But Tom, who loves wealth and loves the Roys, is doing whatever he can to be the king of the Roys. I don't know if that makes any sense.
To date, he is on top. Where things stand now, pre-March 26th, he is on top. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see how long that lasts too. And on that note, go to AsArt.space to get audio, video links, and our cool shirts. We got Cousin Greg shirts there. We're working on other cool shirts too to go with the Succession theme. And subscribe to get all the updates, by the way. By commenting, you're entered to win the shirt at the end of the month. We're going to do a raffle, probably on a comment video or something like that. You'll know because we'll post it everywhere, the winners. And stay tuned for more Succession stuff, and we'll see you on the next AsArt.
Bye.
Woo, Tommy boy and Greg.
Tom.
Yes.